Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his Tuesday guest. I almost said Saturday because, of course, every day is Saturday, but it's Tuesday. I got all confused. Omar, my real estate entrepreneur. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. What's up, Michael? What's happening, everybody?
Hey, one of the things that I wanted to do is I had to have this heavy conversation with someone. You've been in the game as long as I have. We've seen world events come and go. So I wanted to just have a heavy conversation with you about real estate in this case, California. That's where both of us are, but really it's nationally, and talk about the impact of war on housing, right? Does housing go up, go down? You know, what happens, right? We have these events occurring in the Ukraine, which are tragic and terrible and horrible, and we all wish it would stop immediately. But let's step back and realize that there's still business being done. And what's happening with housing? Is it just suddenly slowing down? There's no transactions, or what's going on?
No, transactions are there, but I will tell you, it has caused a little bit of like concern. But it has a reverse effect as well, because I wrote down here, yes, rates are going up, but the demand is still there. People still need housing regardless of what we're going through.
Yeah.
In another country, yes, but what it's doing, it's the scared people aren't making the decisions fast.
Yeah.
They're waiting a little bit longer. They're seeing what's going to happen, because if they don't need to move, they're not going to.
That's
okay,
exactly right. Yeah.
If they don't need to move, they won't. But the ones that are needing to move, they still have to make they still got to make a decision.
Yeah.
They still have to make that offer. They still have to move out of that rental that one seller is selling, and now you have no place to go.
Yeah.
So you're kind of stuck there. And you know, I think some of my clients, I did receive a couple of emails saying that they're going to wait, they want to hold, they want to pull their house off the market.
Yeah.
I'm telling them, why are you pulling your house off the market now? Because you might as well take advantage before something does happen, and then then you lose 10, 15K. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's interesting because at the end of the day, the person I've always studied is the consumer, and the consumer in the real estate world is both a seller and a buyer, right? And you have to realize what's going on today. Again, it's a week. It's been going on a week. It seems like it's going to get worse before it gets better. Unfortunately, I hope that statement's not true, and there's peace right now. But what happens is the sellers. So let's go there first. There will be some sellers, because again, a seller is a very interesting person, because usually in the market that we play in, they're selling their home, right, where they live, which means they are party of two transactions. Not only are they selling where they're at, but they're most of the time buying somewhere else. Right? They don't usually go from owning to renting. It does happen, but not usually. So that person, you could see why they're getting nervous, because again, they probably lived in their home for years, if not decades. They were thinking about selling and moving to some new area. What is going on right now just gives people pause. It's like, I don't know if I want to go to this new area with all this stuff going on and be the new person, the new family, the new this, the new that. So it totally makes sense that there are some sellers that would normally sell that are like, nope, because they don't have to. They don't have to. And anytime something horrible like war becomes kind of front page news, most people will look for reasons not to do something. So again, right. I think inventory makes sense that it will go down even further, which is crazy because inventory is so low now. But then you think about buyers, and I think you nailed it. Buyers are potentially looking at the biggest transaction of their life for most people. And again, a lot of them are bringing significant money, especially in the California markets, right? You're talking tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people are looking at this going, do I really want to drain my bank account now? Really? There's a lot of craziness going on. What do I really want to be? I mean, there are reasons to think that housing could slow down because of this. And then you add on top of that, Jerome Powell and rates probably going up. And Oh, by the way, if you've seen the 10-year recently, it's actually down because everybody is so scared. So right now, I think the consumer is scared, and I suspect leaning towards getting more fearful, more scared, which means transactions and inventory probably go down. So I do think war in tragedies like that are starting and again trending the wrong direction probably will dent housing transactions in the short term. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm right there with you. I think overall, I think the demand and it's going to outweigh all this stuff. But right now, currently, it'll, like you said, the short term aspect of it, it's hitting it now, you know, and it's not going to say it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate what's happening.
Of
But
course.
with regards to our market, I mean, you and I both live in an area where it's the least, it's the lowest median home price in the state.
Yeah, where we invest. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. The high desert and Central Valley are both
and Central Valley, yeah.
And cheap.
Less expensive.
Less expensive. Yeah, less expensive.
Not cheap. We're not cheap, Michael.
It's still 400 grand, which is
I know
crazy.
Exactly.
It's a mansion in many states. Yeah. But you know, when you think nationally speaking, what's going on, I think there's a lot of sellers that are like, you know what, I'm gonna wait. Right. Normally they'd list in March, right? March is really this early start of the spring selling season. I think there's going to be some pause. There'll be buyers that maybe signed on the dotted line that back out. Because you just got to imagine there's a lot of reasons to be nervous and scared. And if you don't have to do something, you probably won't. And I think there will be an impact. And I think transactions will go down. And frankly, that's okay. It's not good or bad. It just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You really can't do anything about that.
No judgment. I'm still looking. I will look for an opportunity to do a great deal. If I find a seller who wants to give a great deal, I will still do it. I'm not doing anything. But you know, you just got to appreciate that there's a lot of reasons to be nervous today. And sometimes taking a pause is okay.
100%. It's okay.
Yeah.
Pause will set you up for the bigger move later.
Yeah, because right, the housing is always important. You will eventually buy, you will eventually list, you will eventually move, you will eventually trade up. When you look at, you know, an investing career of 21 years, I even wrote it in my book. There were 2 times where I took like a 6-month pause because it changed. One was right at the peak when prices started to roll over, and the other one is when the hedge funds came in. It was like both times the rules changed. So I took 6-month pauses. I never stopped looking. I always looked, but the rules changed and I had to go figure out the rules. So it's weird.
So that's, you always kept looking.
Always.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Always kept looking, which is cool because in this way you can have that pulse. Yeah. Now, I want to ask you, Michael, real quick, when you took your pause, and that pause was in 2008.
Yeah, it was probably from 6 to 7 and then like 2012.
Oh, so 2012 at the bottom.
Yeah. So what happened to me is I had a process for like 24 to 30 months. Like in my market, it was a process. Every Monday, the next pile of listings would come on, REOs, right? Would come on. And then like a Monday went by with nothing. I'm like, that's weird. And then again, the next Monday. So I started calling around agents and they started telling me, Michael, you're not going to buy anymore. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we're getting offers at list price for the entire book. Cause they used to get a portfolio and somebody would buy the entire list, sight unseen. Wow. Basically what happened is Wall Street came in and started buying everything. So that was a sign for me that I had to change up, do something different. So I was trying to figure out where to play because for years I would buy REO properties 11% under list price. Why 11%? Because that's where they said yes. If it came out at 76, I wrote it at 67 or whatever the math was. Yeah. And it just changed. And I'm like, okay, the world's different. I don't know.
Let me wait.
Yeah. For like 60 days, I didn't really identify Wall Street as the buyers until I started tying together lots of conversations. And I was like, damn, those freaking hedge funds are, with unlimited capital screwed me over. So we had to go. What I had to do is I had to figure out their buy box, because in the beginning, they would literally buy everything.
Everything.
As I started to figure out, they would never buy a 2-bedroom. It was, for whatever reason, it was too small. So I love 2 bedrooms.
Resale. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking at 2 bedrooms. And then for whatever reason, they wouldn't buy 5 bedrooms, or they wouldn't buy houses over 3,000 square feet. That I was able to, because I looked every day. I talked to everyone. I was able to decipher their buy box. And by doing that, I could make money around it. But it took time. It was not easy. It took time.
That's so smart. Spot on, man. That's freaking, see these nuggets that I'm hearing now. It's like, now, where are you going to be at here? Are you going to pause for a minute? Or are you going all in right now?
No, so I'm not going all in. I suspect there will be a seller or two that has to sell, back to your earlier point.
Yeah.
And I'm only doing great deals today in my market. So I'm looking for 10% or better today. My
great
market
deal's not even good deal.
No, just great. Just great. So my market today is 6%. It's very competitive, very hard. It is so hard. I'm looking to build versus buy. That tells you how hard it is, right? I'm looking to build an ADU on some property I already own. That will yield 10% or greater. But yeah, if I found a 10% deal today, I would do it. If I found a seller that wanted to sell me their entire portfolio and carry it, I would do it. We're not stopping. And also, we're not selling. There's nothing I would sell with rents going up like they are. I'm not selling again. I'm paying more taxes this year than I should, because I sold last year. I won't make that mistake again.
No, I don't think none of us will. I mean, we still, yeah, Michael, this is just a great topic in general about what's happening next and everything else, and what we're faced with. And I truly like this. This convo, this last, 5, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, this has been good right here. So
yeah, and again, this this will be over. It always is at some point. My hope is it's over with a signing of a pen and peace treaty and all of that, versus the other way where death and destruction is horrible. But it will end. It will end. And yeah, don't stop looking. Stay in the market. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to wait and see. But it's never permission to not look. You must always keep your pulse on the market, because if I took a 6-month gap, if I didn't look because I was scared, it would take me another 6 months to rebuild the history. And basically 100%. You're out for a year. So don't give up. Keep looking every day. Never give you permission to not look. I give you permission to be nervous. That's okay. But never stop looking.
Yep. Badass, man. I love this.
Very cool. Omar, how can people find you and get part of your world?
Guys, it's just follow me on IG at Omar_Alfaro, or go to my website, omaralfaro.com.
And for those that ask, Alfaro is ALFARO. There we go.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, buddy. Bye.
All right, we'll see you.